In this video I want to give you a very quick and practical introduction to the Gemini protocol. I will quickly talk about what it is, and I will most importantly show you how you can use it from within your shell, or from within your terminal. And so what is Project Gemini? It's an alternative to the web. And because the web, as we know, is very, very bloated, and I'm viewing this in the web, like this is the website of the project, and I'm viewing this in Chromium, which is of course super bloated. And so yeah, it's a electronic library of interconnected text documents. So this is of course also what the web is, but it is trying to achieve it's trying to build a lightweight online space where documents are just documents in the interests of every reader's privacy, attention, and bandwidth. So Gemini is not trying to replace the web, because again, to achieve what the web tries to achieve, and that is to have like a universal, like maximalist format for visual audio data or visual audio kind of media, Gemini is only trying to like kind of link text documents together and serve them and, well, let you read them. So, okay, but I want to make another more in-depth introduction to Gemini and kind of also how it works, what the protocol is, or what the markup is rather. So how these documents are actually formatted and so on. But again, so this is about like quick practical introduction. So if you go to the site geminiproject.net, and I will link this in the description on my site and whatnot, and you go down here to known Gemini software. And I also want to say, if you want to know more, again, you can, I will make another video on this, but you can also read the FAQ, which is very well written and which is very comprehensive. So it kind of talks about everything. But okay, so Gemini software. So on this page, you will see a bunch of client software, and down here, if we scroll down, we will also see server software. But in here, we are interested in clients, and there are Gemini clients for like everything. Like there are Gemini clients in every possible language, but also for every possible platform. So for example, here is a client for Android, and there are, I think, also clients for like iOS and whatnot. And I mean, there are graphic clients, there are like terminal clients, which I will show you in this video. I will show you one terminal emulator client, and so on and so forth. So I mean, whatever platform you're on, there's a Gemini client for it. So what I will use is, I will not use Gemini client for Android, but I will search for shell, because there are also Gemini clients written in shell script, because the protocol and the markup is so simple, you can actually use shell script to write a full-fledged Gemini client. So there's this client Astra, but the one I'm searching for is this down here, gemini, a client written in POSIX compliant shell. So if we click that link, we will be taken to the source hub. And I mean, tiny Gemini browser written in POSIX compliant shell, highly hackable portable shell script under 200 lines. I mean, how cool is that? And it doesn't really have any dependencies, except what I had to install was FCF, because I didn't have that on my system. So this is a fuzzy finder, and this is in kind of every distribution's repository. So you can probably just type your package manager, install or add FCF, and be done. And I also had to install less, so GNU less, because Alpine of course ships with the BusyBox utils and they don't have all the options, and I did that by calling apk add less. So yeah, and there are also like optional dependencies, but okay. So I didn't clone this or anything. I simply went to source, then tree, and here you can see all the files in the repository, and then I went to gmi, because this is the actual shell script. Then view raw, and then I simply copied all of this into a file. So if I switch to my terminal emulator, I have this file in my .local bin, and then gmi, and here you can see the same script, of course. And if I lsl that, it is also executable, so I can execute it. Okay, so now to actually look at a Gemini site, we of course need a site to visit. So we can, for example, take this homepage for the project, because this is actually proxied. So the content of this is proxied from the Gemini site. So if we copy this and call gmi with this URL, and you see, instead of HTTPS, we now have Gemini as the protocol at the front, and then the normal domain name. And if we do this, we will get shown the Gemini site. So this is the same, of course, has the same content as the web page, but you can now browse this in, well, your terminal. And again, there are like other clients and graphical clients, so you don't have to like read monospace font all the time, which I personally find kind of annoying. but I mean, it's fine for just browsing. And okay, so yeah, this is it. You have like different headings. So these are like kind of specified by the hash symbols up here. So this is a level 1 heading, level 2 heading, and there's also a level 3 heading. And there are also links. So these are these blue and underlined strings right here. And the links also have a description, and they also have a number. Because if I now want to, for example, go to the FAQ, if I want to follow this link, I can't just click it, as you see, because I mean this is a terminal. What I rather have to do, I have to quit less, because we're currently in the program less. And if I now press Q to quit it, I will get shown this FCF prompt. And here I can now fuzzy find for stuff. So for example, I can fuzzy find for, if I want to follow this YouTube link, I could type in YouTube. And if I were now to follow this, it would open it up in my default browser. Or I can also like type in a number to, for example, follow this FAQ link. So if I now hit enter, it will fetch the site and it will show it to me like it showed the other site. So yeah, and now I can read this in a Gemini client that is less than 200 lines of POSIX compliant shell script instead of my Chromium browser, which is 370 something megabytes. So yeah. All right. And if I now want to quit this program, I mean, I normally just hit I hit Control C because I don't think there's a proper way to quit this. Oh yeah, and you can also go back. So if I go, for example, to this and then quit again, there's a backlink. There's no history. So if I now go to some other site and want to go back to the first site, I can't. So you can only go back to the previous site with this Gemini client, of course. So, and then you kind of can toggle between these two. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. If you, oh yeah, I also want to mention this. If you visit a link, like as I just said, the YouTube link, it will try to open it in whatever you have configured to be your default program to open, well, either special links like HTTPS links, or certain links like HTTPS, or also certain file types. So if I were to open a PNG image or follow a link that serves a PNG image, it will try to open this in my default image viewer. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So Gemini is very, very nice. I mean, it's a alternative to the web that's very minimal. And yeah, so far I really liked it. I've explored it a bit. I've also installed a Android app for it on my phone. And yeah, I really like it. I will also make a Gemini site myself, of course. I will kind of port over all my normal website to Gemini, and I will also make a video on like a Gemini server, how you can host your own Gemini site and all this kind of stuff. And I also want to again make a kind of more in-depth introduction to Gemini, kind of how, like, what its limitations are, like how the markup works, the kind of it's called gem text, so this is kind of specified or shown by this MIME type text Gemini, so it's called gem text, and yeah, all this kind of stuff. All right, but for this I just quickly wanted to show you how you can like practically browse Gemini sites, because of course you can't in a normal web browser. But oh yeah, I also want to show this. So if you go to this site and go back, we see there's a website link. But if I now open this in a new tab, it will not do anything. It will try to XGG open it because Chromium can't serve Gemini sites. So because this is a Gemini site and not an HTTP, like not a normal website. So if I copy this link now and go in here, and now I can open this website in this Gemini POSIX compliant shell browser. So yeah, very, very nice, I think. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I kind of wanted to show you in this video. And yeah, check it out if you care about this kind of stuff. And yeah, have a nice day.